Hello, and welcome to your tarot forecast for the Aquarius new moon 2023. If you are new around here, my name is Shea Walker, and I had a card pull out of our Total Betty Goddess deck. So we are going to start with the Goddess deck. After that, if you don't know how things go, we are going to move into our cards for the General Collective. So I'm going to pull an energy and advice card for Earth, Air, Fire, and Water signs. And then I'm going to extend each of those readings over on my Patreon. So if you're not familiar with the Cosmic Collective that happens over at the Patreon, you get tons of extra tarot goodies over there. So if you're a fan of tarot readings and you like checking your horoscope every morning, you get weekly pick-a-cards, you get monthly tarot scopes, and if you're in the higher levels, you get access to these extended videos. You also get free access to the full moon live tarot events. And at the highest level, you get some extra goodies like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, and really cool items that I've designed that are not available anywhere else. So without further ado, we're going to dive into the Total Betty Goddess card that flipped out while I was talking, and I'm so excited for it. We have Wednesday Addams, but because this is a 90s deck, we have classic Wednesday Addams played by Christina Ricci and Addams Family Values. Christina Ricci plays Ariadne, which is a goddess of initiation from girlhood into womanhood. Now, regardless of your gender, just know that that's across the board the energy that's happening right now. And I gotta say, if you don't identify as feminine, there's a little extra insight that comes from the fact that this is a transition of energy from girlhood to womanhood, because it is a different process. Neither of them is easier, better, or worse, but it's just different. So for this, we're really talking about learning how to be in tune with our emotions and find our inner confidence, because girlhood is rough, particularly for those in cultures that project a lot of images of unattainable beauty upon us. So this new moon, fittingly, because it's an Aquarius, is about bucking the traditional standards of beauty and expectations around feminine energy. So this is definitely a time period to find your own path through these things. With the way you are presenting yourself to the world, try not to try and follow a script or a guideline that's been set by you by previous generations. Find out what beauty, success, and feminine energy means to you. So that is what we're working on with our goddess this month, and we are going to dive into the Earth, Air, Fire, and Water signs with 2 cards each from the Modern Witch Tarot. Now, if those 2 cards resonate for you, you will want to head over to patreon.com/MichelleShea, because you'll get like 10 more cards over there to really thoroughly flesh out the situation. So let's see. Whoa. So I'm going to trust that me saying Earth first in my description means that this is supposed to be our Earth reading. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, I have 2 cards for you. So the first card, your energy for this new moon, is the Hermit. Your advice is the Chariot. First of all, we have 2 major arcana. There's a lot of fate at play in the earth signs transition during this new moon. And it feels like it's a little bit of contradicting energy here, but it's actually not. So the Hermit card is telling you that the energy currently is for you to kind of go within and maybe not spend as much time in the outside world or checking the outside world's opinions. It's about really unplugging, shutting things down, staying in, going within mentally, physically, spiritually, and allowing yourself to check in with that little inner voice within you that's telling you your right direction towards your path towards beauty, success, and divine femininity. But in addition to that, we have the Chariot card. It is saying that it is time for rapid movement forward as well. So I think that this is a nice little balance between being able to move forward in your goals, your dreams, and your ideas, while also carving out the time to take for yourself to go within. So this might not be a full hermit going off into a cave for months at a time. It might be that your hermit mode is a couple hours at the end of the day before you go to bed. It might mean that you take a weekend to unplug from social media, to tap back into yourself, but you're still going to be doing action within the outside world to move your goals forward. And because I'm getting a lot of career energy from the earth signs, I would say that it's probably going to be about that, but I'm also getting like a pentacle energy from that. So it also could be about your health, your wellness, and your home. So we are coming upon sort of a nice time period for spring cleaning and cleansing things out of your life. So if your physical space needs a refresh, that might be part of the hermiting in and then moving forward. You might be going within for like a weekend to deep clean everything and then moving forward by getting it all out of your life and then moving towards your goals because your energy feels lighter. It could mean that you're going within to check in with your body, to do a little body scan to see if anything needs a little tune-up or checkup within your physical form. Or it could be that you are working towards some career goals and you're trying to tune out the outside world's opinions and tap into your own inner life to know what's right for you. So if any of that resonated for you, we will be diving in for more cards over on the Patreon. And if you're watching on the Patreon and you are an Earth sign or have Earth in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, the rest of your reading starts right now. So from our Earth signs, we are moving on to some jumpy cards into air signs. So now we are getting into the element of this new moon. That means we're going with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So we're under the Aquarius new moon. We're going to see what the first two cards that jumped out here because they are your energy and advice underneath this new moon. So if you have air in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, listen up. The energy is justice. We'll get to that. The advice, the Three of Cups. So for my air signs, you are seeing a bit of karma come into play underneath this new moon. And depending on how you feel about your karma will depend on how you felt about that statement just now. Because there's definitely an element of everyone involved in a situation getting exactly what they deserved. So if you feel as if you are maybe not as shiny with your karma, there might be something to look at there. There might be something to improve upon. It's not necessarily something you need to fear that because you're going to get your just desserts, you should be like fearful of that. But you do need to be aware if there is some fear that came up in the word karma, that maybe you are being called to readjust the way you're living your life in the future. That being said, if you feel like your karma is clear, and maybe the other people around you are the ones that are having a little issue, know that you don't have to do anything. You just need to sit back and wait for your just desserts. And don't be vengeful because that's gonna dirty up your karma. So if there's something in your world that's done you wrong, know that karma's taking care of it. So clear yourself of any obligation to teach someone a lesson or show them how they hurt you, because the universe is gonna come back around and show them that for themselves. And with that, you wanna make sure that you are surrounding yourself with energies that have a similar good karmic energy. So the Three of Cups is really a calling to find a group of people that are of an energetic match to you. So if you've been associating with people that don't feel like they are quite in alignment with who you are now, maybe you've got a lot of people hanging around from your past that just don't suit your new spirituality or your new path, or maybe you're just currently looking for a new community, don't settle for something less than what feels like home and feels like your community. So hold out for the people that really resonate for you and that believe the same things that you do and really want to build you up. So you really have that positive, supporting community. And you want to make sure that your karma is in a place where you are able to support those around you as well. So if you have any lingering jealousy or feelings of competition in regards to people that are of a similar vibration to you, you want to clear that up underneath this new moon so that you can have this clean, fresh slate as you invite new energies into your social life, because you attract what you are. So the more that you can be welcoming and warm and friendly and inviting, the more that you will find that in the community that you desire. So if you are looking for community and any of that resonated for you, we are going to dive into 10 additional cards over on the Patreon. And if you are watching this on the Patreon, the rest of the air sign extended starts right now. Moving on, we're going to dive into our fire signs. So fire signs would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So we're going to shuffle up the cards. Our two energy advice cards are the first two that we're looking for the general collective. Oh, we got one already. And the energy is the Tower. Fire signs, buckle up. The advice is the Six of Cups. Whew, this is big change happening for the fire signs. So if you have fire in your sun, your moon, your rising, or your Venus, listen up. The Tower is all about something that you've been building up that didn't have a good foundation coming crashing down. And you're gonna feel a little disappointed, you're gonna feel a little in upheaval because you thought you were gonna be able to build this building all the way to the sky, but you didn't know that there were cracks in the foundation. So anytime the Tower card comes up, it is ultimately a blessing. Trust me, I know I get the Tower card a lot, especially when I was going through my Saturn return. I got it often, but it means that you're building a foundation on something that wasn't meant to keep going. It wasn't going to be a good story if you kept building on a cracked foundation. So yes, you might have gotten not as high as you wanted to, but if you got into the highest heights, you would have dedicated so much more time, energy, years to this project, and it still would have come crashing down. So having something crash down now saved you the effort later of wasting your time. Let me say that again. This thing that is coming crashing down right now is saving you the effort later of wasting your time. So the remedy to that, because it does feel kind of awful when you go through a Tower card, especially if you weren't ready for it, if you didn't see it coming, if it was a complete surprise and you were turning a blind eye to this cracked foundation, then it does feel very, very disconcerting. The Six of Cups is telling us that something comforting from our past is coming forward to help us through this transition. The first thing I'm getting is it might be some spiritual comfort. There might be a passed on loved one or connection that's on the other side that's coming forward to help comfort you during this time. So if you do work with ancestors, spirits of past loved ones, or spirits of past pets, know that someone's coming forward to help you. So be open to that and maybe do your own little rituals. And if you do spells to help connect to those things, but at the very least, sit in meditation and allow yourself to receive this spiritual comfort that's coming through. But also the crashing down of this building to its foundation is reminding you that there's something from your childhood that you desired that wasn't involved in this original building's process. So maybe you got caught up in what the outside world was expecting from you and you started building your building on those expectations, but you lost sight of what your inner child wants and has always wanted from the beginning. So if you have a childhood dream or desire that you've been neglecting over the past several years while you built this other building, it's time to come back to that and lay it as part of your concrete foundation on this next stage of your life and make everything that you build on top of it reflect upon that childhood desire. So if that resonated for you, we're going to dive into about 10 more cards over on the Patreon. And if you're watching on the Patreon, fire signs, the rest of your reading starts right now. So last but of course not least, moving on into our water signs. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, we are moving into your energy. If it is Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, listen up. And we're going to pull the first two cards, which are your energy advice for the general collective, and then we will dive into 10 additional cards over on the Patreon. Oh, and I've got a jumper. So water signs, your energy is the Eight of Wands. Your advice, the Six of Cups. This feels very fitting for my fellow water signs. We are definitely feeling very intuitive right now. So if you're not carving out the time in your day for intuitive messages to come through, you are missing out big time. Now, traditionally, carving out the time for this is meditation. If that doesn't resonate for you yet, it's something you should probably work towards. You might want to try free writing. There's definitely a feeling of the universe really trying to stream some thoughts into you. And if you can write your stream of consciousness out for 3, 4, maybe 5 pages without stopping, without trying to think of what you're trying to say and just letting the thoughts come out of your brain and onto the page, you might find that there's wisdom there. This also is telling us that the Six of Cups in our advice sector is that our inner child has something to tell us. So I feel like there's something happening right now where you need a little bit of direction or comfort or validation that you're moving in the right direction already. And in order to find the right direction for your future, you need to look towards your past. So there's something about your childhood right now that's trying to come forward and tell you how to find the right path. So I want you to sit in meditation and ask yourself, what made you feel safe, secure, loved, and enlivened in your childhood? And start with whatever age you're drawn to. Obviously, childhood spans a lot of years, so whatever comes forward when I say talk to your inner child, talk to yourself at that age. Maybe you free write, maybe you meditate, but see what comes forward and ask your inner child what they would like to do with your day and what direction they would like your life to be going in. And then see how that matches up with where you're actually going. And it could be something that's completely validating for where you currently are, or it could be something that indicates a need for a slight change in direction. But there definitely feels like it's a really calm, clear energy that's coming forward from your past, and your future is just kind of mucking it up. And I feel like it's a lot of outside expectations, a lot of I should be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing this is what adulthood needs to look like. And your inner child has some different opinions about that. So you need to listen up to them. And this is a vaguer reading, but I feel like we're going to get a lot of clarity in the extended. So if you want to watch the extended for the water signs, head over to patreon.com/Michelle Shea. And if you're watching over on the Patreon, the rest of that reading starts right now.